everyone, this is Ashley, Sparkly Canadian Crafty Girl, and I'm here for Waffle Flower Crafts. I am guest designing for their challenge this month. I'm so excited to be part of it, so I am sharing here with you guys the stamp sets that I'm going to be using. This one I had already, it is Willy and Friends, and then this one was generously given to me by Waffle Flower Crafts, and it is called Bowtiful. So those are the two sets I'm going to be using for my card. So I get right started here, and I just show you what I'm going to be using for the base of my card. That is just white cardstock. It is the A2 size, and that is just some gold glitter paper, which adds some cute sparkle, and then that brown striped cardstock. And then this is just some white cardstock that I'm using, and it is just for Copic coloring. So I'm starting off here with this bow, and it is so cute. I wanted to gold emboss this, so I'm just cleaning that stamp off. I always like to do that first just to make sure it's nice and clean. And then I'm using that EK Success tool to get all the static off of my page. This is the Distress ink, and I'm just using that embossing ink. And then I'm just making sure here that I'm going to have enough room for the little monkey because I'm going to be masking her behind that bow, so I wanted to make sure there would be enough room. That is the liquid platinum embossing powder that I'm using. It is my favorite to use for gold. It's so pretty. And I'm just adding some of the embossing powder on there. One trick that I like to do when I'm embossing is I like to use a little tiny paintbrush just so that I can get all of the little specks off and make sure that there's nothing that's left over. And I did actually nick the side of the bow there, so I do add a little bit more embossing powder just to make sure that it is perfect. So that is the first bow, and I do add two more bows and emboss them, but you could do them all at once. I just wanted to do them separately just to make sure that it would come out perfectly here. So I am just using my heat gun and heating up that embossing powder, and it looks so neat when it finishes up here. It's so glittery, or golden, I guess. So that is my first bow. And if you saw the challenge for this month, the challenge is masking, which I'm going to share in a little bit, but they also have a photo inspiration, and it is gorgeous. It's on the blog for Waffle Flower Crafts, and it'll also be on my blog. So if you check out my blog that also coordinates with this video, I will have pictures of it there. And it is so nice. The colors of it are just gorgeous. And it has kind of like a little garland with leaves on it. So it made me inspired to make a little garland of bows. So that is where the inspiration came from, as well as the colors that I chose for my card. So I'm just adding that other bow, and I'm kind of making it like a little garland from side to side there. I also used the sketch for this month, which I just did horizontally instead of vertically. And then I'm just adding my last bow here. And I don't show it in the video, but using a Staedtler black marker, I do add in the little, what would be like twine or ribbon holding those little tiny bows. And it will show it in the still shots at the end of the video. So that finishes up the embossing for now. I am just finishing the heat embossing for that last little bit, and they look so pretty in gold. I love them, and I think it's perfect for a cute little celebration card here. So the next part I'm going to share with you is masking, which is the technique for the challenge this month. And I'm going to start out with this Post-it tape. You can get this at a lot of different stores. Staples has it, or I'm sure Walmart has it. And I'm just using that masking tape and this tuxedo black ink to stamp up that little bow. And then I'm stamping it there onto that Post-it tape. And then I'm just going to cut that out with some good sewing scissors that I have that cut really nicely. And basically for masking, whatever is in the you want to be in the forefront is what you're going to want to mask, because that's what's going to stay in the front. And then anything that you stamp on top of the mask is what is not going to be showing. So for this part, I'm just cutting out that bow, and I'm going to set it on the front of the garland so that I can stamp the little monkey behind it. So I'm just cutting that out, and if you don't like fussy cutting, this does require a little bit of fussy cutting usually, but there's a lot of different ways you can do it. This is just the way that I like to. So I'm just adding that little bow on there to cover it up. And then using the Willy and Friends stamp set, I'm going to use that little tiny monkey there. I believe her name is Claire. She is just so cute. So I'm going to put her on my stamping block, and then I ink her up with the Memento Tuxedo black ink, which is perfect for Copic coloring. And then I am just stamping her on there, and I wanted it to make it look like her hands were holding that little bow up in front of her. So I was just lining it up. And now that's pretty much it for the masking. It's fairly simple, but there's a ton of different ways you can do it, and it can make some really neat cards. And then there, I'm just adding a little bow because she is a little cutie, and as you can tell, I love bows and sparkle and glitter, so I wanted to make this card very girly. So she's got her little bow. And then I'm just taking off the mask, and you can see she is behind there. Now I was going to leave this little mask on while I Copic colored, and then I decided to take it off because I didn't think I needed it there. So I'm just showing you the markers that I'm going to be using. These are Copics. I'm going to be using R20, E53, E55, and E57. And I did show E59, but I don't end up using that color. So I'm going in first with the E57, and that is the darkest color that I use for this Copic coloring, and I'm just adding some shading there. I do go in first with my darkest color. I know some people like to Copic color using the lightest color first, but the way that I learned was just to do it with the darkest color, and I've found that's the best way for me. So I'm just going in there then with E55 and blending that out. I love these little monkeys. They are so, so cute. And then I'm going back in with the E57 just to add a little bit more shading there and a little bit more dimension. I want it to be a little bit darker. And then I am doing her little tail, and the tail actually ended up masking behind that other bow too, which looked really cute. And I'm just adding then some E55 as well for the tail. And then I start to Copic color her face. So I'm doing the outside part with E57, which is the same color combo as her tail and her body. And I'm just going around the bow there. And then I actually went out of the line there, and one really neat tip that I've seen a few times on YouTube from other YouTubers is to use a white jelly pen if you go outside the line instead of having to use the colorless blender, because sometimes I find that makes a little bit of a mess. So the white jelly pen is awesome. I think that's a really great tip. So I used that when I went out of the line there, and you would never ever know. So I'm just blending that out. And just fixing all that up a little bit. And then just doing that last little ear there. And then I am going to do her body. So I go in with E55 for the darkest color, and then I go in with E53 for the lighter shade there. And again, I go in with my darkest color first. And then I'm just doing her little bit of her face there. So I'm just blending that part out. I love this color combo for the monkey. It's so cute. I've made a few other cards on my blog with this same little monkey from the Willy and Friends set. I'm going to have the corresponding blog post for this card below, as well as the link, so you can just go straight to my blog and straight to the Waffle Flower Crafts blog. But if you want to see the other cards I made, they're also on my blog. So then I go in with R20 for his little ears, and I go back in with E53, which is a light brown, just to bring that shade of pink down a little bit. And then on the cheeks, I added R20, and I just go over them here with 3 little white jelly pen dots. I just think that looks so cute. It just adds a little something to her sweet cheeks. And then with E57, I go in to make her eyes a dark brown. I think that looks really cute. And I think that is it then for my Copic coloring. And then I'm going to show you a little close-up here of the little sweetie with the little bows. And now I am going to do the sentiment. which is also from the Bowtiful stamp set. And I just saved the little mask there on the back because I can use that for another project. So that is the sentiment I'm going to be using. It's so cute. I love that sentiment. And I am also going to gold emboss this one as well. I think it looks so cute. It's such a little classic little look there on the card. So I just put that white paper behind there just so that I wouldn't get embossing powder everywhere. So I'm just stamping this one on. And again with the gold embossing powder. I will have the link below for you guys if you want to participate in the challenge. I really hope you guys will. I'm so excited to see everybody's projects that they make using the different types of inspiration that they have there. And again, this month is masking. So if you want to participate, showing a type of masking that you like to do. I'm just going in there again with my little paintbrush to make sure I don't have any bits that aren't supposed to be there. And just using my heat gun again. I just love how it changes over. It looks so neat. There we go. And then again, there is my card base, and I'm just going to layer up the card now. So I'm just using some adhesive to attach that gold paper, and it is a thinner paper, so it's not going to add a whole bunch of bulk to my card. So I have that gold paper there, and then that brown stripe one. And I got these colors from the inspiration photo this month. I thought they matched really cute. And then I'm just adding on my card base there. And I just think it looks like such a stylish, cute little birthday card. I just love it so much. And the sentiment says, celebrate your special day with style. So that is gold stickles. I wanted to add that on her bow, but I wanted to make sure first that it was the same gold color and not a different gold, but it matched perfectly. So I'm just coloring in her little bow there. And I add a lot so that it will be a little bit higher and have some dimension. And it does stay like that once it dries. It stayed like a little bit puffy like that, which looks really, really cute. So I'm just making sure it has a lot of nice depth. And I think that looks so cute. Can you tell that I totally love sparkle? And then I'm just showing you a close-up there. And I didn't want to make you have to sit through it, but I set out all of the sequins. So those are Pretty Pink Posh sequins. And then I am just adding on those little stars, which were just in my stash. I'm not 100% sure where those came from, but I just had those little gold and silver stars. So I'm just adding those on with my adhesive. And I think those just added the perfect little touch for this card to be celebrating, which I thought was so cute. And just a few more here. And I do it off camera, but I add in the little line from the banner so that it looks like it's hanging, but I just do that off camera. But you will see it at the end because I have a few still shots for you guys to see. So that is pretty much my card. So I'm just finishing off with the sequins here, and then I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can have a better shot of the card. And there it is. So that is my card for this month's challenge. I hope you guys will come over and participate in the masking challenge this month. And thank you so much to Waffle Flower Crafts for having me participate as a guest designer this month. I was just so excited and it means so much to me. So thank you so much. And then these again were the stamps that I used. So I just set them out. And then the video will just finish off with a few close-ups. So I hope you guys have a great day and thank you so much for watching. Bye now.